up, guys? It's your girl KP, and we are back with episode 13 of Fem Talk. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just so excited to have made it to 13 episodes with you guys. You guys already know Fem Talk is a podcast that highlights the different individuals in the LGBTQ plus community. It's a safe space for us to have open and honest conversations about relationships, society, and the obstacles of living in our truth. And today we have a super special guest, especially considering we haven't had a guest for the past couple episodes. We've been rocking with me. So today's topic is going to be the history and legacy of Shakedown with Ronnie Ron. Ronnie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what that is and what you do?
Absolutely. So Shakedown was formed, back in 1997.
Oh, wow. It's been almost my whole life.
Right. And it seems just like so yesterday. It was a team of lesbian women. We got together. It wasn't planned. And we just started rocking, at a particular club. We were there for 8 years, promoters. We ran every Friday nights at that time, and then we just expanded.
Okay. So what exactly is Shakedown? It's a team of lesbian women who are throwing parties? Okay. And I know you said it kind of just happened, but were you guys one day just kind of like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what it is.
Oh, that's what's interesting. So many people don't know when they find out the history. They're like, really? That's how it got started? So I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Therefore, I was totally in the closet. And at the age of 18, I came out. So I was looking for where to go. Where's the women? And I was told there was a club called Catch One. So Catch One was very, very popular back then. They had a lesbian night. So I just happened to roll up there by myself, and at the time I wasn't Ronnie Ron, I was still Ron. That's my legal name.
Okay.
And I was just trying to mingle around, and I met two girls, and they were hotties. And so she was like, man, you need a nickname. You can't go by Sharon. You like aggressive stuff. So she named me. She was like, you should call yourself Ronnie. I was like, okay, cool. So they had a pageant coming up, and it was one of the categories was, or one of the part of the whole pageant at the time is Mr. Catch One.
Okay.
So I'm not knowing all about this. So my friend at the time, which became my business partner, was pushing me into it. You should run for it. I'm like, I don't know anybody. I'm like Urkel. I'm like, wearing my pants up. I don't know anything. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So we went ahead and prepared for it. And there was so many people there. It was popular. I didn't know anyone. And I was like, I'm going to win. She's like, you're going to win. And that was the reason for winning, because if you don't know anybody, you get people to like you and whatnot, right?
Right.
So I ended up running, and I ended up winning. All that being said, when you do win a category back then at the Catch One, one of your responsibilities is to host one of their lesbian nights.
Okay.
So at the time, it was a Thursday night. It was me and Miss Mika, who was an entertainer, one of the dancers. And so every time I hosted, I just started getting used to it. But there was always an older man and his friend in the back. Just always sitting back there. It was crowded, but I always...
You were watching, huh?
Yeah, because he was like in his 80s or 70s. And I'm like, what is he doing here? Lesbian night. Anyway, a couple of Thursdays went by, and he approached me. And he was like, hey, I really like you. I like your hosting. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just on the mic cracking jokes, He was like, I want you to open up, my club, and I have a lesbian night. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm, won this pageant, I'm going to open up. I don't know anybody. Like, literally, I only know the people that's here, and I don't even know them. He was like,
right.
I think you're off. So long story short, I had to make a decision. Was I going to keep hosting at the Catch, or was I going to go ahead and do this night? My friend that I met that talked me into that pageant, she was like, let's do it. I'll help you. So we went to go check the club out, and we went ahead and started. That's how Shakedown started.
Okay, so what was the name of that club that you guys ended up going to?
It was called Club Horizon.
Okay.
It was formerly known as the Boys Club, and he has closed down for a minute. I had learned the history when I got there. He closed down a minute, but he wanted to open back up with something different, so he wanted the lesbians there. And he asked me what night I wanted. I was like, well, I feel like a Friday night is hot. Again, I don't know anything. I'm born Jehovah's Witness, but hey, I'm just figuring people would go out on Fridays because they're off work and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But the name of Shakedown, interesting enough, I don't know. We were just sitting down one day, and I always associate things with my name. You know, I just feel like you have good fortune when you do that. So my name is Sharon, and we just picking our brains all day. What should we call this little lesbian thing we're trying to put together? And we just took all day, and all of a sudden I just said, you know what? I'm down with everything, so why don't we just name it Shakedown? So
right.
Came up with it.
I definitely think that's a cool origin story. You know, it's very interesting, and to know that, for one, it's been around since 1997, and you're still having so much success now. It's so inspiring to see. I know that you mentioned that you are a Jehovah's Witness. I kind of just want to touch on, like, how has that, like, affected either your success or just like you putting together these events, or, you know, with especially like with your faith and what you do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I grew up in the faith, and I actually was a Jehovah's Witness very actively up until the age of 18. But I knew when I got 18, I was ready to come out the club. I did not have the support of my parents, of course, for anything to do with Shakedown at all. You know, they knew of it. They knew I was doing something in the lesbian world, but they didn't know about it. But I did have the support of my brothers, my nephew, you know, different family members who come to the functions and whatnot. I always wanted them to see what I was doing. I didn't know the Shakedown was really going to run this far to become a legacy, but my mom would just ask me here and there, how's the club going? And I was like, fine, Mom. But, you know, I can't really talk to her about it. But, yeah, I really wanted them to see the success of it, you know, but they do know that it does exist, definitely.
That's good. That's good. So with that being said, how do you feel that the legacy of Shakedown has affected the community? And what do you think it's really done for a lot of people that you've come across or haven't come across yet?
You know, that's a good question. I didn't really know how much it affected until we had stopped, you know, and we had to change the area spots where we were at. People were like, oh my God, please come back. But it affected us so much so that I feel like Shakedown was a home, and the community was able to really come out and be themselves, because most of the clubs we were at were pretty much in the hood in Los Angeles.
Really?
Supposed to have it. That's where I wanted to have it. That's where I grew up at, you know?
Right.
So I think that them coming together in their own zone, they didn't have to go outside of LA to have, you know, the party. That was a huge thing for our
That's good. I think that's important, because, you know, a lot of time, like, especially during those times, there probably wasn't a lot of safe spaces for people to go with locally, just within LA, and even, you know, have something such as Shakedown. So it's dope that you guys created that space, and even, you know, with starting and stopping, that you guys are still here. So where is Shakedown at right now, or where can we find you guys, or do you still throw parties?
Yeah, you know, so I've relocated. I'm in I've been here for 12, 13 years.
Did you say Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I've been out for, like I said, 12 years, and I often go back. My business partner at the time was still functioning, and they were still running night. But now that I've been here, I happen to be the pride. The prides out here. The pride that I belong to, I'm part of their team. HOVP is House of Pride.
Okay. So now I know that Shakedown has also come out with a documentary. Can you tell us about that documentary?
Oh man, yeah. Our producer, she actually started coming and just started videoing, and then we actually made a deal with her to just start videoing the girls, because, you know, we have a lot of entertainers underneath Shakedown's belt. She just started coming and videoing, and then we sat down and talked, and she was like, you know what, I really want to do a documentary. I think this is like something you got going on unique here. You know, and I said, really, you think
right?
There were a few lesbian nights. There was Peanuts, you know, Michelle Triple X, rest in peace. The Catch One was going on. There was some other underground, but we were really the main underground at that time in Los Angeles. So she would come and video most of our parties. Also to mention, there was one of our couples, Slow Wine and Junior. They actually had a baby on one of the nights we were running, and we actually closed the club down when she about to deliver. So me and my business partner at the time, Teresa, we went to the hospital, and she just turned 21. We went to her 21 birthday party. The baby's now 21. of the couple.
Wow.
Still together, lesbian couple. How cool is that, right?
Isn't it?
But yeah, her party was just a few weeks ago. So she, taped that, and even when we left one club to another, and the documentary is streamed. It's very emotional for me when I look back at it, because I'm like, wow, you don't really realize what you were really in and what you were doing until you look back at it on video.
Right, until you see it for yourself, because sometimes when you're in the moment, it's like, okay, cool, we're here, we're doing this, but then when you go back and you look at it, it's like, whoa, we were there, we were doing this.
And it's shown out of the States. It was in the UK. It's been in the New York Times. It's been shown in Hollywood. A lot of screening, lots of screening, and it's still going. I know our producer is still trying to, Layla, she's trying to cut a couple of deals for it to go on some popular streaming. It's just unfortunate because some of the footage, they, giving us a little problem with, but you know what? Like I told her, I don't want to change a thing. I see a lot of things on TV, so what makes us different?
Right, because if they can come out with shows like P-Valley, and that's my show, I'm pretty sure that whatever's in the Shakedown documentary, they can they can let air. So with that being said, where can we stream it right now? Like, where can we find it?
There's a couple of links that I did send Teresa on Facebook. If you go to Shakedown Movie, it's
okay.
Facebook. Go directly to the link. There's also a website on it. There's so many different links that, if anybody inquires about it, they can just look at it, look it up on Google. And take down documentary show, and they'll be able to tap into it.
And how long is the documentary itself?
The documentary is probably a little bit over an hour, but there's so much more footage. The documentary, it tells some of the story, doesn't definitely tell all. It shows the good, it shows the bad, but there's just so much more to it. So hopefully, I was hoping that once the documentary start streaming, they would just, we would just make it like a TV show, so they can just show different episodes,
right?
Parties and where we are now, what we look like now, what's going on now. You know what I mean?
Definitely what we look like now, huh?
Absolutely.
I think that is just the coolest thing ever. It definitely gives me, Kanye West vibes, like how they did that 3-point series thing. And I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Like, watching his documentary was so inspiring. So I definitely want to tune in, watch it, and I look forward to when it does go on streaming platforms.
It was different back then because, the entertainers were a very, very big part of Shakedown, because that's what we did. We had shows.
Right.
Those girls, they really went in. I mean, I'm talking costume. I mean, I know today you can go to clubs and you can see shows, you can see entertainers, and I'm not taking anything away. Time has changed. But I can say me, myself, as being the host and the CEO of Shakedown, when we had shows and we had parties, these girls went all in.
They was.
Yes.
Yes.
You hear me? Like, it was nothing out of line. It was music. They took the time to really entertain the crowd. And you got a lot for a little. Back then at the Horizon, you can come in there with, I'm gonna really say $50. And you can get some drinks. You can get seriously drunk. You can tip the dancers. You can get some tacos. I mean, you can get everything with that $50 and still leave with a couple dollars in your pocket. That's how it was back then.
Literally. Because, girl, $50 nowadays, they want $50 for a hookah, and one drink is $20. That's it.
You can't even get that. Maybe a hookah and a taco.
Maybe one taco.
Girl, it's so different. It was home. And one of the things that I hear a lot from people, and I really appreciate when they say this, is that they really felt that at Shakedown, they can be themselves. You can literally walk in there, it was hood. I mean, you can come in the booty shorts, you can come dressed up, you can come dressed down, you can come in sandals. I mean, I've seen it all. There was no judgment at Shakedown. So when people came out on Friday, they didn't feel like they had to impress unless they wanted to.
Right.
But come as they are. It was home.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. It definitely sounds like something that I would have been at, but I was all like 3 years old. But
right. And right.
My little 3-year-old self.
Girl,
why do you think Shakedown was so important to the LGBTQ community? Like, what are some reasons that are near and dear to you about why you feel it was so important to us?
Well, again, it gave a safe haven for people to, back then in the late 90s, early 2000s, what I'm going to say? Our lifestyle was not, you talk about, we were called butches and dykes back then.
Right.
You know, unaccepted. You go to the grocery store, you see two girls holding hands, blasphemy. You know, burn them now. That's how it was back then. So when you can go out on a Friday night and you can just be yourself, the community, they really love that. And that made me happy to make them happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It was all about our rights. Yeah.
So do you think, you know, just considering the time change and now, I know now everything's more accepted, right? Like you can go to the store and people are not going to look twice at you if you're holding hands or whatever the case may be. And people damn sure ain't really saying butch and dyke too much, but
no.
Unless as an insult, for sure. Yeah. But do you think that Shakedown could be now what it was then?
It would be a huge difference, hugely. But one thing Shakedown is always known is we always gonna bring it no matter what. We had an event about a year and a half ago. Actually, Teresa was our DJ, and I had to make it absolutely, and I had to make it more grown and sexy because my age. If you think about 1997, most of us are in our 50s or 40s. So, and I don't know the youngsters, you know, because of my age. But that night was magical because we did some grown stuff. We are planning on having a reunion.
See.
7 years. We are going to have a reunion. And I'm sure everybody and their mama going to be at that reunion.
I want to be at the reunion, so...
I mean, there's going to be red carpet. I'm trying to bring them all back. All my entertainers, all the ones who worked with me, for me. I'm talking about security. I'm talking about everybody. Business partners, helpers, everybody. And I'm giving everybody awards. I mean, it's DJs. We've had several DJs. I mean, we built our own kingdom. It was an empire. You know, everybody.
Yeah. And that's what it sounds like too. And I think that is just the coolest, like I said earlier, it's just the coolest thing to like be able to witness. And I'm sure like experience, like for the people who got to be there, you know, at what point did you, or how long did it take you to understand or realize that you were onto something when it came to like the popularity of the event? Because, you know, it may not have been jumping right away, but I know it got there.
It actually jumped right away, which was
really
absolutely
right away.
Right away. Like I would have to say, you know, when we did our first Friday, I didn't know what I was doing. So my business partner, again, at the time, Teresa, she had been out before me. So back then, putting flyers on cars and hands, that was the thing. It was really no social media. It wasn't all the digital things going on. So the first night, when we did the flyers at other clubs, we had about 75 women there. But after that, it was 300 plus. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was never listen to me, Linda's. Everybody would tell you. There was never a dull moment. I mean, it was a box. You would walk in and you were going to start sweating because everybody was like this. And you know what's interesting is they loved it. We were that crowded every Friday. It was after that first Friday we just kicked off.
Girl, I'm going to have this reunion so I can show out and pop out and experience it for myself.
I mean, listen, it was, and that after the first Friday, because I was like, okay, we had 75 women. Is that good? Is that bad? You know, I didn't know anything. Got to pay people. I mean, what did we pay them? I mean, we didn't know. I didn't know anything. But after that first Friday, when I saw all these women coming, I'm like, oh my God, where y'all come from? And they just kept coming, and it was different people, and it was the same people, and it was just, yeah. It
was the people coming out the woodworks telling their friends to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin.
Even the kids start coming because they started being over 18 because our club was 18. Our production, it was 18 and up.
Right.
Tried to come before then, but we won't talk about that. But
yeah. For legal purposes, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah. But I mean, when I say we stayed open till 4.
Even at that time? Oh, you guys were doing it right.
Listen. When I tell you getting in for $8, we opened at 9:00. We did not leave until 4:00 in the morning.
That was partying.
Roscoe. Oh, listen. I mean, you know that song, It's Time to Go. Everybody knew when that song came on at 3:55, it was time to go.
That is so funny because you know what's so funny? I'm 28, so I'm fairly young, right? But let me tell you how I cannot hang until 3 or 4 in the morning. And I just actually recently moved to Vegas where the nightlife is. after hours. People want to go out at 2:00 and leave the house at 1:00 to go out by 2 and be out till 5. And I'm like, what? How are y'all doing this?
We were the after hours because, you literally close. They normally close at 2.
Right.
In the first 8 years, we were open until 4:00. So after that, we started closing at 2. And then there were after hours, like the hole in the wall. There were other after hours. But before then, we rocked to 4:00.
Right. Y'all were the original after hours. Let that be known.
And then we started on Thursdays. We started doing Thursdays and Fridays. We started having different concepts. Thursday was probably a little bit grown and sexy, but Friday was always our night. It was hood, straight up.
Yeah.
And I ain't ashamed to say it.
I'm not ashamed for you either. So I'm sure that throughout the whole time that, you guys have worked together, you guys put everything together, that you've had, trials and errors, losses and wins. So what are some of the most important lessons that you learned during that time?
As being the CEO, it was hard because I saw a lot. I saw a lot coming through the door, meaning you're going to see some people come in one girl and leave with another. So I learned to keep my mouth closed. That's one thing. Loyalty. It takes a good team when you're a leader. You have to have, and I have really literally had and still have. Most of us are still our friends. Like I said, Teresa, King Jr., Tina. There were a variety of people that stood behind me. And, there was times when you may listen to other people and what other people say, and you just can't do that, and I learned that, loyalty is huge. That was one big factor that I learned.
It definitely is. It really is, especially in like the business that you're into, because you just never know. Like, people could try to run off with your idea or do things behind your back that are unbeneficial to the team. So I definitely think, learning about loyalty was probably one of the most important lessons I can imagine that you experienced or learned.
Oh yeah, we had plenty of people, and not ashamed to say, but when they saw that we was rocking every Friday, they tried to jump on the bandwagon, and they would, try to create things on Fridays, and hey, it's enough for everybody, but we always was standing. So sorry, but
it was us at the same time with the.
Come on, don't be dirty with it. Do you? I'm not mad at you, but don't try to knock me. And what we did. So it took a kingdom, and there was also a change in history with Shakedown. I went through a huge weight loss transformation.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. And I did it on my own. So for the record, I definitely want to put out there, a lot of people thought I had surgery, and I did not. I was at my highest in Shakedown. I was 435, and I'm half the person I was, and I've kept it off since 2010.
That is amazing, and that is dedication, girl. Because
I had to step away from Shakedown a little bit, maybe about 6 months to get my health together, because my whole family diabetics, and I see a lot, in my family, and I just wanted to stay strong and stay healthy for the community, for myself. So it was a big thing. So, that's why I'm in the business, what I'm into now, also keeping the name of Shakedown alive. I have my own vitamin company. So.
Okay, good. Because I was actually just about to ask you, like, what are some things that you're into now? What are you working on? So can you tell us a little bit more about your vitamin company?
Yeah, so I've always been into the telesales. I've always worked for other companies, and again, with a family history of diabetes and obesity. I mean, it was just in our family. I lost 2 brothers to diabetes. It thrusted me to move into getting myself together health-wise, my mom and myself. But I wanted to help other people, show them what I did, because what I did was just simply change my life. I didn't go on a diet. I made some lifestyle changes. And so with working for other companies and, with, getting their products out there, I was like, why can't I have my own products?
Right.
So for a while with other companies, I had to, invest my own money. And now I have 5 products of my own. And my best friend has a few products as well. And we just collide them together. And collectively, between the both of us, we have like 600 clients nationwide that we clients, they buy our I don't call them supplements, our regimens. And mostly it's just to help them. My main thing is weight, helping them, lose weight, reverse diabetes. And most of my clients are seniors. But I do have support from my age group as well.
Right. I think that is, girl, everything about you and what you do and what you stand for is just so amazing. I love how you're so community focused, and based, and just being able to, even like you said, your regimens, put that out there, because there's a lot of people who struggle, especially nowadays in 2023, in your, even in my age range, like social media makes things very, very hard for people to accept themselves for who they are. And then, I'm not knocking anybody who does get surgery, because sometimes it is needed, but I feel like nowadays it's so like, let me go get surgery before I do something to actually be healthy, or just make lifestyle changes to look like X, Y, and Z, so I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. And see, that's why with surgeries, because of course at one point I considered it, because I was like, I don't know if I can do this somehow, like this is tough. When I went, for, I don't know, they have a little, they sit you down and they talk about surgery. They do tell you before you have surgery, you do need to lose weight on your own. They want to see your determination.
Right.
So, yeah, like you said, for health benefits, a lot of people I know that have surgery, they've been very successful. I just never wanted to do it because honestly, I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight for my rights. Like I said, with losing my brothers, it was tough, because I'm the oldest. It's just me and my sister, and it's tough, when you see the brothers you grew up with, you guys grew up together, and now they're not here, and they were young. They passed. One was a little bit over 50, one was a little under 50. So, it makes, looking at health, it's a whole different ballgame now.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to that. And then I wanted to tap into HOVP, House of Vegas Pride. It is the hugest LGBT pride in Vegas, and I am a part of that team. And our pride is coming up in August, so we're working on that.
Love that, and I will be there, girl. Trust and believe.
You just moved. You just missed them. We just had a pool party.
No, I was just about to say, did you guys, that was in collaboration with Taste ENT, right?
The first one.
Yes, I was there.
Were you? And I was
there.
I was in Puerto Rico the first time. But the second time it was Sunday, this past Sunday.
Okay. Dang, no, yeah, I missed that one then.
Yeah,
I was so
new. But I know I seen it. It was lit.
It was lit. I was up in there having the time of my life. There were so many beautiful women. I was turned up. Oh my God. I had so much fun. The pool was great. The people were great. I was like, I cannot wait to do this again. So now that I know, we're definitely going to stay in touch, and honestly, anything that I can help be a part of, I would love to do as well, because, I'm all for the people, all for our people. So yeah.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that very much.
Yes. Well, before we go, Ronnie, is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about what you're doing? Things you're tapping into, what's coming up?
Yeah, and like I said, so the Mixer Lounge, I definitely want you to come out to that. It's open every day of the week. It's a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. We actually just had our birthday party together. Her name is Storm.
Okay.
She supported me for years, coming to Shakedown in California, and I move out here to come find out she has her own spot. So I host her karaoke's on Tuesday, and it's really, really fun. She has Friday, Saturday night shots. I'm just very proud of her. Her food is amazing. And again, mentioning HOVP and, my vitamin company. And just the main thing is the reunion. Just want to make sure everybody know they need to definitely look for it.
Yeah, the reunion.
Look for it. It's coming.
Perfect. Well, just to recap then, y'all, when you guys come to Vegas, make sure you guys hit up Ronnie. We're going to be at the Mixer Lounge at the House of Vegas Pride. And we're going to look forward to that reunion, because if y'all want to see me, a little something.
Okay. Facebook and our IG is Shakedown Love. It's under Shakedown Love, Shakedown Legacy. If you tap it, you'll find us on there. Perfect.
Well, thank you so much, Ronnie. It was a pleasure speaking with you and discussing the legacy that you've created over the past 20-something odd years. And I look forward to seeing more from you.
Absolutely. Gotta hang out, girl.
Definitely, we will, because I've been to Mixer before, so that's why I'm like, all right, we go link this. Look, All right, guys, until next time, it was me, your girl KP, and Ronnie Ron on Fem Talk, and we'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely. Bye.